like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone. It is such an honor for me to be guiding you through the ceremony tonight. Also, because the organization that I lead, the Namibia Media Trust, has been a co-sponsor of this award since 2018. But let's start with a video message from Ana Maria Busquet de Cano, the president of the Guillermo Cano Isaza Foundation and widow of Guillermo Cano, who was the journalist in honor of which this award is named, a journalist who was assassinated in front of the offices of his newspaper, El Espectador, in Bogota, Colombia, on 17 December 1986.
Las circunstancias que nos afectan a todos me impidan asistir al homenaje que se rinde hoy a una mujer empeñada en defender, proteger y enaltecer la libertad de prensa en el mundo. Así lo hizo Guillermo Cano durante toda su vida, tal como se solicitó en el Seminario de las Naciones Unidas en Windhoek, Namibia, el 3 de mayo de 1991. Me hubiera gustado mucho entregarlo personalmente el premio a María Reza y decirle cuánto admiramos su labor y su empeño, y a los periodistas africanos que promovieron la creación de un premio a la prensa libre y pluralista hace 30 años. Premio que desde entonces ha enaltecido el difícil oficio de contar al mundo lo que sucede.
Speaking Spanish. No, Spanish. Yeah. Put it back.
Abrazo solidario a todos los periodistas que asisten al seminario que empieza hoy.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cano. This prize, of course, would not exist without the sponsorship of the Cano Foundation. In addition to the Namibia Media Trust, other sponsors include the Helsinki Sanomat Foundation and the Democracy and Media Foundation. But let's get to the business of this evening. Allow me now to ask the members of the independent international jury of the UNESCO Guillermo Cano Prize to come on stage, while we also have connected from UNESCO headquarters in Paris, Mr. Xing Chu, Deputy Director General and Acting Assistant Director General for Communication and Information. So join me in welcoming the President of the UNESCO Guillermo Cano Jury, Marilu Mastrogiovanni, reporter and founder and director of El Taco d'Italia from Italy, and member of the international jury, David Dembele, editor-in-chief of Dépêche du Mali. And now we'll also connect with Manila in the Philippines. Can Maria hear us?
Hi, Mama.
There she is. Thank you so much for joining, and I hand over the floor now to the President and representative of the jury. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Prime Minister, UNESCO Director General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. The annual UNESCO Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Prize honors a person, organization or institution that has made an outstanding contribution to the defense and or promotion of press freedom anywhere in the world, and especially when this has been achieved in the face of danger. As too many journalists are unfortunately treated today in the world, we have received many relevant nominees, for which we want to thank all those organizations and entities that submitted candidatures, governments, UNESCO national commissions, as well as international and regional professional and non-governmental organizations active in the field of journalism and freedom of expression. On behalf of the international jury members, composed by Wendy Funes, investigative journalist from Honduras, Hamid Mir, Executive Editor of Geo Television, Pakistan. Alfred Lela, Founder and Director of Politico.al in Albania. Zainab Salbi, journalist and TV host from Iraq. And my colleague David Denbele, next to me, from Mali, of the Malian Network of Investigative Journalists. We have recommended Miss Maria Ressa from Philippines be the laureate of the 2021 UNESCO Guglielmo Cano World Press Freedom Prize for the following reasons. Over to you, dear David.
Okay, allowed me to do it in French. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Alors,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Maria Reda, the chief editor. We would also like to mention that her fight for the freedom of expression deserves to be recognized. And also in the Philippines and everywhere in the world. The security framework is still fragile, and she was condemned after a case of cybercrime for defamation, and Maria Teresa has to face 8 accusations, and she is at risk to spend the rest of her life in prison, and that she will be judged culpable. We also have a lot of violence online against journalists, and also a lot of negative impact on media platforms.
Is emblematic of the growing phenomenon of arbitrary, abusive judicial prosecution and the so-called strategic lawsuit against public participation, SLAP. The case of Maria Ressa is emblematic of this global trend, which represents a real threat to press freedom and therefore to democracy.
alors, malgré les persécutions et
Despite the prosecution and also the trouble to which her life is exposed, she resists and is serving as a model for the journalists of her country and everywhere in the world.
By awarding Maria Ressa, UNESCO would bring the spotlight on such concern, as well as encourage and sensitize states to take ad hoc measures to counter SLAP and online harassment against journalists, with particular reference to the one affecting women journalists.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mastro Giovanni and Mr. Dembella. I will now give the floor to UNESCO's Assistant Director General for Communication and Information, Jing Chu, who is connecting online.
Thank you, Chair. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Thank you, Chair. Do you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Please proceed.
Thank you. So, Prime Minister, Director General, Excellencies, members of the International Jury, ladies and gentlemen, greetings from UNESCO headquarters in Paris. I would like to start by thanking the president of the Guillermo Cano Izaza Foundation for her participation. I would also like to sincerely thank Ms. Ana Maria Bosque de Cano for her tireless efforts to keep alive the memory of her husband, Guillermo Cano, the brilliant editor from El Espectador, who fought against the corruption of the drug cartels in his country and paid the highest price for the search of the truth and the exercise of press freedom. I also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the sponsors of the prize. They are Democracy and Media Foundation, stitched in Democracy and Media, the Helsinki Sanomat Foundation, and the Namibia Media Trust, whose executive director, Ms. Zoe Titus, is moderating today's ceremony. Thank you very much to Ms. Mastro Giovanni, the president of the international jury, and to Mr. Dembele, member of the independent jury, for having so well articulated the justification for this year's choice. Please convey my regards to all members of the jury. At a critical time for humanity, the need has been never stronger for professionals committed to reporting the news. With a career spanning over 30 years, this year's laureate has dedicated her life to practicing press freedom. Throughout your career, Ms. Ressa, you have embodied the courage and commitment of independent journalism in the face of countless threats and relentless pressures. Despite being the target of vicious online attacks, you have remained committed to holding the line and fighting back violence and harassment against the journalists. Your integrity, dedication, and professionalism are of inspiration to many across the globe to continue the fight for facts and to take a stand for the values and principles of free, independent, and pluralistic journalism. Ms. Ressa, in my capacity as Acting Assistant Director General for Communication and Information of UNESCO, I am extremely honored to virtually deliver the 2021 UNESCO Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Award to you. This delivery is symbolized by this diploma, which I am now holding in my hand and will be sent to you together with the awarded amount of $25,000 US. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in expressing our warmest congratulations to the 2021 winner, Ms. Maria Ressa, with a big round of applause in presential and virtual. Very much. Linda Hart, back to you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Director General. And the moment you've all been waiting for, I'm sure, to hear from the winner of the 2021 UNESCO Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Award. It is my honor to introduce Maria Ressa.
Thank you so much to UNESCO, the independent jury, the more than 80 press freedom and news organizations who've helped us hold the line. This is for Rappler and all Filipino journalists who, despite the increased risks just to be able to do our jobs, continue to hold power to account. It's also a reflection of how the world looks at the Duterte administration today and the death by 1,000 cuts of our democracy happening in front of your eyes. I wish I were with you today in Namibia